Hi, welcome to week 14 of reading. So, this week we will be doing yet another different type of reading. So, we have worked on reading articles, we have read nonfiction and fiction stories, we've taken a look at realistic fiction, we've looked at folk tales and fairy tales. This week we are going to go back to fiction, but the way we do it will be different than what we've done before. But we're using a strategy called close reading. So close, CLOSE, meaning you keep it near you, it's by you. Right. So when we do something called close reading, we are taking a very close look at specific things in our story. So the first part of close reading is that you will read the story more than once. In fact, we will read this story 3 times this week. And I kind of made a mistake there. I said we will. Well, you will. That's the other part of close reading is you want to work on your skills as a reader. So in order for you to do that, you need to be the one reading. Listening to a story is a completely different type of skills. And we've all shown that we are great listeners. You have all done that to this point, especially in reading with the things you've done on the Nearpods. Definitely shown me that you've heard what is being read to you. Now we got to work on that comprehension piece a little differently. And that's going to be for you to listen to yourself as you read so you can answer the question. And that's exactly what close reading is all about. So we'll be reading this story, and it when you first look at it, doesn't seem like it's going to be that difficult of a story, but it is actually a level S. Just to give you an idea of how difficult that could be, the majority of us as readers read between a level E and a level believe we're at A. So this is definitely a little more difficult than what we're used to. However, throughout the week, as I introduce the story to you on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I do give you some information that's going to help you with the reading. I also go over the story vocabulary as well. So you really won't be confused on any of that. Outside of that, though, the words that are in this story are not that difficult. So I feel that everybody will be able to read this independently and also be able to answer the questions. So this is our story. It's called Building a Fire. So we're going to be reading about Mr. Griffin and his forest friends. So a lot of you have heard of Girl Scouts or Brownies or Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts. Well, forest friends are very similar to that. So Mr. Griffin is their leader. He has this group of kids out in the woods, and they are going to learn a very important survival skill that you may need if you are ever in the woods or maybe even in your backyard for that matter, depending on where you live. So, as we read Building a Fire this week, this is why it's called close reading, because each day you will have a specific set of questions that you're going to need to answer. So, for Monday, as you read the story, you are going to be taking a look at what does the story say? What is it talking about? So there'll be specific questions that will help you to be able to look right at what those words say and what they mean. So that's called a very basic level of understanding. And as a reader, we have to have a basic level of understanding in order for us to do anything when it comes to reading, whether that's reading to ourselves, answering questions, talking about the story. On Tuesday, you are going to read the exact same story. So you will read Building a Fire yet again. And then the questions you will be answering will have to do with how does the text say what it says? So they're asking you, in what way is it communicating these certain things to you? And then lastly, on Wednesday, once you read the story for the very last time, then we're going to be taking a look at what is the meaning of the story? Why is this story important to us to understand? So when you started out the reading on Monday, you were answering very basic questions. By Wednesday, they will be very involved. And in fact, the answer isn't going to be right there in front of you. You're actually going to have to think about what you read. And that's the importance of close reading. It really helps us to develop ourselves as readers to be able to look for answers to simple questions and then get better at making determinations on our own. If you need any help this week, please reach out and let us know.